Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so that we can bring you the latest news as they come. And together we can support our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and Eastern Security Network to make our Biafran dream and restoration a reality. He say. The Fulani NNPC Group Managing Director, Male Kari, cries out that he does not want to go to jail, that Buhari should be held responsible for the over $10 billion that was stolen from NNPC between 2017 and 2021. According to reports, over $10 billion stolen by NNPC in fuel subsidy scam. The House of Representatives has alleged that more than $10 billion worth of nation's crude has been stolen via fraudulent fuel subsidy claims by Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. The Parliament has therefore constituted an ad hoc committee to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime between 2017 and 2021 by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. This does not include the $26 billion the former Minister of State Petroleum, Ibe Kachukwu, exposed that was stolen between 2015 and 2016 when Buhari came into power. You know, Buhari is fond of stealing in the petroleum industry. In the 70s, when he was the Federal Commissioner of Petroleum, he stole the first stealing in NNPC and lodged the loot at Midland Bank in the UK. And when he was to be exposed, he came back through a military coup, and the first thing he did, he went to NNPC and set ablaze all the records that would lead to him. You know, that was in 1983. They organized a military coup in order to stop a Biafran from becoming Nigerian president, and at the same time to burn all documents that would trace the stolen NNPC money to him. You know, this followed the adoption of motion by Jయొİİ PDP Edo on the floor of the House of Rep on Wednesday in Abuja. In his motion, Mr. Ogun said he was informed that as of 2002, the NNPC purchased crude oil at international market prices, which stood at 445,000 barrels per day. He added it was to enable it to provide petroleum products for local consumption, saying he was concerned that as at 2002, the installed capacity of Nigeria's local refineries stood at 445,000 barrels per day. However, Ogun said that their capacity utilization began to nosedive and eventually fell entirely to zero due to the ineffectiveness and alleged corruption of critical stakeholders in the value chain. The lawmaker said that due to a decline in production capacity of the Nigerian refineries, NNPC found it more convenient to export domestic crude in exchange for petroleum products on a trade by barter basis. According to the lawmaker, he said the component cost in the petroleum product subsidy value chain claimed by the NNPC is highly overblotted. Mr. Ogun claimed that the transferred pump price per litre used by NNPC in relation to PPMC was underquoted as 123 naira to about 128 instead of between 162 to 165 naira. Mr. Ogun said that the fraudulent underreporting of between 37 to 39 naira per litre translated into more than 70 billion naira a month or 840 billion naira a year, stolen by the Fulani Janjaweed. Mr. Ogun expressed worry that the consumption rate of petrol was 40 million to 45 million liters per day, adding that NNPC used 65 million to 100 million liters per day. According to him, the subsidy regime has been used by the NNPC and other critical stakeholders to subvert nation's crude oil revenue to more than $10 billion. Mr. Ogun said, record shows that as of 2021, over $7 billion of 120 million barrels were diverted. The lawmaker added that subsidy was charged against petroleum product sales in the book of NNPC and against crude oil revenue in the books of NAPIMS to the tune of more than 2 trillion naira. Imagine how much the Fulani Janjaweed have stolen. And that is why they don't want Biafra to go. Stealing all the money and doing nothing with it. You know, Tinubu and the Fulani Nigerian government are working so hard to derail Peter Obi's 2023 election campaign with trump-up charges. They are afraid and scared they will gang up as they did during the NSAS protests. And that is why Biafra must be free. What the Fulani Nigerian government and Tinubu are trying to do is to portray Peter Obi as a supporter of violence, as they did during the NSAS protests and as they are doing with IPOB. You know, when they use their criminal hoodlums in the Nigerian military to kill Biafrans, they will now blame it on IPOB. And that's what they want to do. You know, during the NSAS protests, the Fulani Nigerian government brought thugs, criminal thugs, they brought thugs to criminalize the protests. They used police vehicles to transport these criminal thugs who attacked protesters and caused mayhem. The Fulani Nigerian government ended up blaming the protesters like they are currently doing to IPOB in Biafra land. You know, their chief thug is MC Oluomo, working for Tinubu, and JయొİİED, a Biafran Efulefu. And the compromised Nigerian news media that they are using to narrate their own version of the stories, to carry out their evil plans. That is what they plan. And that is why we keep telling Biafrans, forget the Fulani organized Nigerian elections. They should focus more on how Biafra will be restored. Because that's the only place we'll have freedom and peace and prosper. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video. And bye-bye for now.